Hey guys! Have you got any succulents that haven't been doing so well lately, or might have encountered some problems and you can't figure out what went wrong? Well, today I would like to share with you 11 mistakes to avoid when caring for succulents. We often hear that succulents are low maintenance plants, and in many ways they are, but they do come with a few special needs and precautions. These plants are tough and resilient, but they thrive best when you understand their natural habitat. Many of them are used to dry, sunny environments with infrequent rainfall, so things like overwatering, poor drainage, or the wrong kind of soil can quickly lead to problems. So let's review them together, one gentle step at a time, to better care for our succulents. Mistake number 1. Do not treat them all the same. When we talk about succulent plants, we're referring to plants that store water in their leaves, stems, or roots. That's why their leaves or trunks often look chunky, thick, or fleshy. It's like they're carrying their own water bottle around. But here's the thing. Not all succulents are created equal when it comes to storing water. Some are excellent at it and can go for months without a drop of water, while others are a bit more delicate and need more frequent hydration. Take cacti for example. They're some of the toughest succulents out there. They've evolved to survive in the harshest desert conditions. Their thick skin, spines, and even the way they grow help them conserve and protect their water supply, and because of that, they can go a long time without needing to be watered. On the other hand, succulents like those in the Senecio family, like the string of pearls or string of bananas, are more sensitive. If they go too long without water, you'll see it. Their leaves start to shrivel, wrinkle, and lose their plump appearance. It's like their version of a drought alarm. So, while it's true that all succulents store water, it's important to understand the needs of each type. Some are drought warriors, while others need a bit more TLC. Knowing which is which can make a big difference in keeping them happy and healthy. Mistake number 2. Don't water your succulents on schedule all year round. I get it, we all love a little convenience, right? The idea of setting up an automatic watering system sounds like a dream. Less work, more time to enjoy your plants. Sounds great in theory, but when it comes to succulents, watering on a fixed schedule is actually one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Because succulents' water needs vary. They may need frequent watering in the summer, but need to cut back big time in the winter. These plants are built for survival in dry environments. If you keep adding water when their storage is still full, you're basically drowning them from the inside out. Too much water damages their storage cells and can lead to root rot, mushy leaves, or worse, the whole plant dying. One way to know when your succulent needs water is to stick your finger in the soil. If it is still wet, wait a few more days when the soil is a few inches dry on top. Over time, you'll figure out the right timing. So while automating things might sound tempting, succulents need a more hands-on approach when it comes to watering. Think of it like this. They don't need constant attention, just the right kind of attention at the right time. Mistake number 3. Do not mist your succulents. Misting your succulents might seem like a gentle way to give them water, but it's not really what they need. Succulents actually love water, just not all the time. When the timing is right, they'll soak it up like a sponge. These plants are specially designed to absorb and store large amounts of water. That's their superpower. It helps them survive long, dry periods in their natural habitat. Misting only wets the surface and can even encourage rot or mold if the leaves stay damp too long, especially in indoor settings with little airflow. It doesn't provide enough water to reach the roots, which is where succulents actually absorb moisture. So when you water them, give them a deep soak and let them drink their fill. After that, let the soil dry out completely before watering again. That cycle of feast and dry is exactly what they're built for. Mistake number 4. Don't combine incompatible succulents. Yes, they're all technically succulents, but that doesn't mean they're compatible roommates. We succulent lovers enjoy creating stunning arrangements. It's hard to resist the charm of mixing and matching those chunky beauties into one beautiful pot. And while it can look amazing, mixing cacti with non-cactus succulents isn't always a smart move for a long-term health of your plants. Here's why. Even though they fall under the succulent umbrella, cacti and non-cacti often have very different care requirements, especially when it comes to water. Cacti generally prefer even drier conditions and can go much longer without a drink. Many non-cactus succulents, on the other hand, enjoy more frequent watering and slightly different light exposure. When you plant them together, you're forcing one to compromise for the other. Either the cactus gets overwatered and rot, or the non-cactus succulent stays too dry and begins to shrivel. Neither situation is ideal. So for healthier, happier plants, and a project you can truly be proud of, group your succulents based on similar needs. Mistake number 5. Don't use moisture-rich soil. Here's the thing. Succulents don't like wet feet. So if you're using the same moisture-holding soil that you use for your other plants, you're asking for trouble. Succulents like soil that's loose, sandy, and drains fast. But regular houseplant soil, it holds onto water like a sponge, and that's just too much for succulents. If their roots sit in wet soil too long, they can rot. That's basically a death sentence for them. So instead, use a cactus or succulent mix or make your own by mixing potting soil with sand or perlite. That way, the water flows through and doesn't stick around too long. If you need a simple soil formula I use for my succulents, I have it in the description below. It's simply 2 parts potting soil, 1 part perlite, and 1 part coarse sand. Mistake number 6. Planting succulents in pots without drainage. Succulents hate sitting in wet soil. That's why planting them in pots without drainage holes is a big no-no. Those holes at the bottom of the pot are not just there for nothing. They let extra water escape, which is super important for succulents. Without drainage, water builds up at the bottom of the pot, and that's a recipe for root rot. It's like making your succulents sit in a puddle with wet feet all day. Over time, the roots get soggy and start to rot, and once that happens, it's really hard to save the plant. So always choose pots with drainage holes and make sure the water can flow out freely. Your plant will thank you for that. Try using planters that wick away moisture. My 2 favorites are the clay pots or terracotta pots and wooden planters. These materials naturally wick moisture away from the soil, which means they don't let the water stay in the soil too long. Clay pots are porous. Water slowly seeps out through the walls of the pot, helping the soil dry out evenly and more quickly. Wood planters, especially untreated or lightly treated ones, also absorb some moisture and allow for better airflow, which helps keep the root zone dry and healthy. Here are the succulents I planted on wooden ledges, and they are all healthy and happy. Mistake number 7. Bringing in sun-loving succulents indoors. Bringing those colorful succulents indoors might seem like a good idea at first, but trust me, it's not always the best move. Sure, they look absolutely stunning with their bright colors and perfect rosette shapes. But things start to change once you take them inside. Without enough sunlight, their beautiful compact shape stretches out as they desperately reach for more light. The vibrant colors start to fade too, and over time, they can end up looking long, pale, and well, kind of sad. You might not even recognize them anymore. So if you want to bring your succulents indoors, try to select those that require low light. It's super important to plan ahead. Think about where exactly you'll place them, and ideally near a window that gets lots of light. Mistake number 8. Exposing them to the harsh summer sun too soon. This one catches a lot of people off guard. Succulents love the sun, but not too soon. If you have them indoors or in the shade and suddenly move them into full summer sunlight, it's like a sunburn waiting to happen. Their leaves can scorch, literally. You'll see brown, crispy patches, and once that happens, the damage is done. The plant survives, but it won't look as pretty. So here's the fix. Start moving them when the weather is still mild, preferably in the springtime. Then, as the light slowly gets intense, they are already slowly adjusted. It's the quick sudden change that causes the leaves to burn. Gradually introduce them to more sunlight over a week or two. Start with the morning sun or filtered light, then increase exposure bit by bit. That way, their skin, yep, plants have skin too, can adapt without getting fried. Mistake number 9. Not being aware of their dormancy. Yep, succulents sleep too. Not all the time, but many of them go through a period called dormancy where their growth slows down or completely stops. This usually happens during extreme seasons, either winter or summer, depending on the type of succulent. Now, here's where the mistake happens. People see their succulent doing nothing and think, oh no, something's wrong. I need to water it more or fertilize it. But really, it's just taking a break. And during dormancy, succulents actually need less water and almost no fertilizer. Trying to wake them up can stress them out or even lead to root rot. Mistake number 10. Not dealing with pests on succulents too soon. This one's sneaky because succulents look tough and resilient, right? But even these hardy plants can fall victim to pests, and ignoring the problem just makes it worse. The common culprits? Mealybugs, yes, those tiny white cottony things, the aphids, and spider mites. At first, they don't seem like a big deal, but pests multiply fast and start sucking the juices right out of your plant. You'll see stunted growth, sticky residue, or even black mold. And here's the mistake. A lot of people don't recognize the signs, or they see them and then think, oh, it will go away. But it won't. And the longer you wait, the harder it is to fix. What you should do instead is inspect your succulents regularly. Look under the leaves and in the nooks. If you spot pests, isolate the plant. Wipe them off, spray with rubbing alcohol or insecticidal soap, and repeat as needed. And if it's a severe infestation, sometimes trimming or repotting is the best option. The bottom line is catch the pest early. Act fast before the infestation spreads. Mistake number 11. Not cleaning up the dead leaves. It's something super simple but super important when it comes to succulent care. Removing those dry, crispy leaves at the bottom of your plant. You know what I'm talking about. They're shriveled, brown, just chilling at the base of your succulent like they're part of the vibe. But here's the thing. They're not just not good looking, they can actually cause problems. Pests love hiding in dry leaves. All those little mealybugs, gnats, and other creepy crawlies, they treat dry leaves like a cozy hotel. The longer those leaves stay, the more likely pests will move in. Cleaning up gives your succulent better airflow, helps prevent disease, and makes room for new healthy growth. Plus, it just looks cleaner and more aesthetic. So these are the 11 common mistakes I want you to avoid when growing your succulents. How about you? Is there anything you learned that you want to share with us too? Please feel free to comment below. I would love to hear from you.